Yeah, I thought that's so. I was just like, last time on the phone. I was doing a lot of cooking videos and stuff on the phone. Well, okay, straight up. Okay. Start this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna be. Hey, YouTube. It's
What's good, YouTube? It's Mama Nell.
coffee step. Okay.
Oh, we didn't start?
Uh, we're starting now. Oh, let me make sure that mic is the right mic there. Fall.
Not going forward, like once we get like a little uncopyrighted music, have that planned and start that for a minute, then go straight into it.
Might be broke. Like that.
It is. I guess you gotta hold it at a certain angle. You having the phone like that closer like this to see the whole body, or just you seeing the whole body?
What you mean?
Like how it is, instead of like how this camera is. Now the
Okay. Situated. Default. Right. So I have to use that, right?
yeah.
So I have to use this one.
It's on.
Huh?
It's on.
Yeah, I'm not connecting now. The one person in the chat, how y'all doing, how y'all feel. Audio output. That's the audio input. That's what I'm supposed to put it. Audio input caption.
I cannot see. Somebody wrote something.
Shoot squad, he said Ashley needs cap. Let's see. Okay, I found it. So, oh, yeah, something.
Somebody else put something.
Audio capture. Okay, turn the mic off. Mute that one. Boom.
It's 15 people in the chat, and somebody
Say hi. Good morning. What's good in the chat? Listen, y'all. We going live on now. We live on my channel right now, but he said, "Oh, you baby." He said, "Your baby is so cute. Appreciate it." We're gonna be doing our podcast right now on our other channel, on the Dynasty channel, but I am live on my channel, so y'all get a live view of our first episode. It's gonna be a little minute, so y'all get y'all some chips, some snacks, and hang around. Yeah. All right. Hey, can y'all see good? Can y'all see like everybody good? Is everything looking good?
Should I take care of those extra needs?
Babe, stop, bro. Like I said, you got ashy knees and you go put lotion knees. You need to quit doing YouTube. You need to quit doing it. You're gonna let somebody else say me. I don't even know what you're doing. Need ashy or what? What? They still watching you. You need ashy or not. You gotta grow some self-esteem. Like your parents didn't put that in you. You gotta grow it yourself and understand that. You have to. Till you understand and stop being weak, you ain't gonna never have it. Thank God you're in that position like I am. You the gave up. Thank God that you got me with you to help you instill that in yourself. It ain't easy. I'm telling you that from life experience. It ain't easy to get self-esteem. You can lie your whole life like you did. But once somebody takes a lotion on, you gonna go do that. All right, let's start the 1, 2, 3.
Hey, YouTube, it's Mama Nell.
And this pop step.
Good job, baby. And this is our first ever podcast episode. So bear with us.
It's our first ever podcast episode, man, and we gonna bring y'all some great. I gotta stop looking at the camera. This is our first ever podcast episode, man. We gonna bring y'all just some great life lessons. We gonna bring y'all God tell, and another thing with y'all gonna learn a lot about us. It's just our faith and what we growing to do and what we see to do, and y'all gonna see a lot of manifestation in this podcast because we gonna speak about a lot of stuff that's gonna happen in the future. I'm telling y'all, she only 3 months right now. But she gonna look back when she like 10, 16 years old, and she gonna see all of this happening. And she gonna understand like where all this came from. So we had to start a podcast because man, it was just fitting, man, because we sit around and talk about life and talk about stuff that can help our spirits grow and just help other people grow so much. So we just found it right to bring it to y'all. So I'm letting my wife, she gonna be the host of this. I'm gonna let her, get us right. Booty, you wanna call it daddies? Good, okay.
All right, so that was actually my first question. Was why these are podcast,
Okay.
but but the second one is, what do you feel? Well, you said the goals to a podcast. Okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty, like the real deal questions. What do you feel are some components of a marriage? Not a good one, not a bad one. Just what do you feel like are some components of a marriage?
Not a good one, not a
You know what I'm
bad
saying? Like, not saying like, not labeling it like good or bad. Just some components of like, once you when, like saying it like if somebody were thinking about marriage, like what would you tell them, like some components about it, like what would you be like, okay, this is marriage from my point of view.
one. Hold on, hold on.
You move your foot.
We just gonna use the computer mic, y'all. Ain't gonna use the camera, the mic I have.
You gotta talk a little louder.
Good. You said so. You said so. What's some components of marriage
Yeah, that you would tell somebody like younger than you,
that looking to get married?
looking to get married or talking about their marriage.
Okay. Components. Is this a girl or a man I'm talking to?
Anyway, well, just say a man.
Okay. I'm talking to a man during marriage, and I don't really know how to answer you. What is he asking me?
Like, I'm thinking about getting married, but I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know what to
Okay.
like feel going forward. I don't know what to expect.
Okay. So first off, if you the man talking, I just simply tell you. First off, you would never know when you're ready to get married. It's never going to be. And I see a lot of people live like this, like with this. And I was talking to my brother about this. Why I said, see a lot of people live like by this perfect timing type of rule. Like you gotta wait till everything perfect. You gotta wait till you're ready. You gotta wait till everything makes sense. But truth be told, doing that, you're just gonna be chasing something that ain't really real because you would never be ready to get married because I don't think it's ever been a man in life that got married and said, okay, I knew this was going to happen. Okay, it's like marriage is the unknown. It's becoming one with another person. That other person is a woman, which means that you don't have the same chemical buildup as that person. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't think the same, you don't react the same and stuff. You don't even live life the same. Meaning, men don't even have periods. So if you have to become one with a person that's like the complete opposite of you, really. So it's like what I would tell them is so cold. I'm so cold, but without
I should have bought the heater.
yeah, true. Well, what I would tell them is truly don't do it from a place of never get married. What I'll tell somebody if it was younger than me, older than me, whatever, never get married from a place of how you feel about the other person. Never get married from a place of always. And I'm only doing this from a personal account. I got married only in the moment of like what's to come. Like already you can't you if you try to marry somebody off like what you see now or what it is now, it's never gonna work because stuff change every day. Like we done changed this week than we was last week or 2 weeks ago. So you gotta be ready and understanding that like marriage is about what you trying to head towards. If you got a mind to think and see what you want out of life, and you see that you can build this with the person that you're thinking about marrying, then that's the only thing you should look for. I don't feel like you should look for like what's gonna make you scared, what's gonna make you not like the person, what this could happen, what that could happen. Because regardless of what you with, any person you in his life, you're gonna have to figure stuff out. You know what I mean? You have to figure some. It's gonna be some stuff that you run into that you wasn't wanting to run into, and stuff you're gonna run into that you didn't even know nothing about. You know what I mean? So one thing I tell about marriage is the enemy definitely hates marriage, and the thing I tell y'all is to have a plan. Everybody, if you're trying to get married, if you think about marriage, you have to have a plan of a goal to get somewhere. If not, your marriage is gonna be pointless. It's gonna be pointless. And my marriage was the main reason why I wanted to get married. The main reason why I got married is because I knew it was right in the eyes of God. And I knew if I started living my life right in the eyes of God, that I would eventually end up somewhere. I don't know where to be at. I don't even know where to come out of it. But I know if I start living right in the eyes of God, that my life will like transform, it will change, like stuff will start happening for me. And I understand that meaning you have to have a higher power in order to get married and do it right. It's in order to get married and to actually be a God fearing woman and man and to love the way God wants, you have to have something else pushing you to why you get married. You can't be wanting to get married because you just been with a person for a long time. That's not what marriage is. You know what I mean? You can be a person for 15 years, or you can be a person for 3 weeks and marry that person that lasts longer than the person you've been with for 15 years. Because marriage is not it's really spiritual, to be honest. And I get a little deeper into that, but it's really spiritual. So what I tell a person about marriage is man, have a point in your life where you have a visual of what you want. You know what I mean? Because you can't stay married if the marriage is only because of the person. Of like you love this person, so I want to marry. Like it's more than that. It's harder than that. You gotta have like God fueling you to help you get somewhere, so your marriage can leave stuff on this earth for your little ones, for your family, for generations after you. You can't just be thinking about, man, I want to get married because I love this girl. We grew up together and we used to be in the same classrooms and we just perfect. And that's not really real. You gotta actually sit down and be like, what do I want out of my life? Do I want to just be normal or do I want to like leave something for generations? One thing I see through marriages and me being married myself, man, what really helped me stay married to us is the God is truth is the fact that we have something that we're trying to get to. So regardless of how mad, how whatever's going on, we know in the back of our mind it's something where we got it's the mission we gotta complete. We gotta make sure our daughters, our sons know Jesus Christ, know that they gotta be disciples on this earth. We know that. So it makes it a little bit tougher to leave or to break it up or to think of anything other than to make this work. You know what I mean? So that's what I tell somebody. I say, man, have a focus in your marriage of a number one center thing that help you in your marriage because you can't help yourself in this. You can't. It's not. If you're looking on marriage and thinking you're just gonna do it by yourself or anything that you have, man, it's not gonna work. It's just simply not gonna work.
And the still in question before I go, do you feel as though marriage is has to be surrounded around like a society thinking of having to have a big wedding, having to wait till you're about the wedding part? But do you feel as though like it has to be like how society has it that you have to have this big ceremonial
Yeah.
celebration?
I don't. And this just me. And one thing I want to tell you, I'm like it's hard to talk about. I'm real different than a lot of people, man. The way that I think, like I just feel like that's not real. And it's not saying that it's bad to do that, but all my experience with people that have weddings that done did big, it never lasts. Like they never last in a marriage when they do the wedding. They have that. Because one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, regardless of what it is, that wedding night feeds your mind so much dopamine, y'all. And what dopamine is basically like being high off weed. It gives you adrenaline boost. It's like a feeling. It's like a craving. And it's once you get that feeling, it can change like the rest of the ways you feel about your marriage. You know what I mean? I feel like the realest marriages, the ones that last, be the two people that come together that say we just do this with God ourselves. We're gonna make this happen because we're trying to become with God. I feel like truly, y'all, even if where my finances was, we can have big old crazy. I don't even think I would do because I just know what that brings. You know what I mean? It's like it's just too much that goes into it, man. It's too much like that goes into it that distracts you from the purpose of marriage. You know what I mean? Like this stuff is a distraction. Like if you can still get married without having a crazy wedding and invite people, what makes you think that it's not a distraction if you still can do it? Now I can say that was the only way possible to get married, that you had that wedding, you had to do this, and it was right in God's eyes. Then okay, I understand, but it's not the only way possible. What makes you think you gotta do it just because everybody else did it that way? You know what I mean? A lot of people have weddings and after the wedding, like they don't even like the person that they with. You know what I mean? That's just the God and it's true. So I really feel like, man, I'm just trying to bring a part to this world, like going against culture, man, going against everything that they try to like instill in us. It's true, man. Like I didn't have no crazy wedding. I didn't even have a wedding at all. We got married at the courthouse, y'all, and made it. And I made it a decision with God that I want to do this the most authentic way I could possible. You know what I mean? The realest way possible. A lot of people, bro, they have people at their weddings that it is just, and it is the truth, man. People have people at their weddings that don't like them. People be at the weddings talking about the people. People be at the weddings that don't even know who the person is, but they just want to have this feeling like 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 validation, and that's true. And we all as humans want to feel validated in some type of way, at some type of point. But once you understand that nobody validation matters except Jesus Christ, it like change your mind. It change your heart. It change everything. So what I say is, man, I don't feel like it's true. I feel like if you're a person that's on your husband, on your man, the way saying that you need this, you need to figure out you need to like figure out what you trying to get out of the marriage. Because if you so it done been some people that I know in my life personally that done been mad at their husbands for them like a ring, not having a big wedding, not having a wedding at all. Like they done been real mad to where they don't want to be with this person no more. You see what I'm saying? So how is that even the root of your marriage? You know what I mean? Your marriage, your connection with a person should be so strong that you don't need that to still feel the love for that person and to still be engaged with that person in mind, his heart, his spirit. You know what I mean? But some people will lose all that and get distracted simply by the wedding and look over here and be like, man, yeah, and it get worse when other women start telling other women, man, I had this at my wedding, I had that at my wedding, I had this. What I'm saying, y'all, I'm not saying wedding is bad, wedding is bad. All I'm saying is it shouldn't be the priority of your marriage. A lot of people go 7, 8 planning these things, y'all. Not 7, 8 months into working on themselves, working on their husband, learning their husband. They go 7, 8 months other people. What dress should I buy? What person should I invite? Doing all of this type of stuff, y'all. They do this for months, y'all. All this type of stuff, and then get in the marriage, and in 2 years they really decide that they love that person. So what I say is work on what matters, man. I always try to stay true and stay natural, man. Like if we want to get married, let's get married. But if we don't like, if we know people, we humans as humans, we not do this all authentically as we can. See what I'm saying? So that's what I say with that.
Let's start with the first question. I would say mainly most women want wedding. Most men don't really like. I mean, they get the fact that it's a wedding, but most women, I would say like it's kind of put in our mind to like when we're younger, you gotta have like this princess wedding. But I feel as though like growing up, I mean, once we talked about marriage and getting married, I never really thought about like having a wedding, like a big wedding. I never really thought of. I mean, that's something that you see watch on TV and stuff, but it's not like something that I thought see myself. I just thought like going to the courthouse. Not even like
You
even
did ask me that.
I did, but I'm saying like just like even if it's not a big one, but just like a small thing with just family and friends. Well, not even friends, but just like family, just like a small few amount of family. But I never thought of like people be paying like not saying it's a bad thing, but $40,000, $50,000 on a wedding. It's kind of like it's only one day. That day is special, but is it like that special? You have to put like a limit on it, like limit on this, limit on that, limit on how many people come, limit on this. But I would say that it's kind of just trained in women's mind. More so, women want the wedding more than men. But I would say going into the first question I asked, I mean, yeah, I asked about marriage. Um, God never told us to date. I'm not saying it's a sin, but there's no.
What? What do you mean not since it's sin? How is it not a sin if he knows what to do it?
I wasn't trying. Oh,
Sex or dating outside of marriage is a sin.
oh yes, I wasn't. I don't know why I tried to quote to you guys' feeling, but it is. Oh, it's okay. It says it's literally stating in the Bible that we should commit a covenant with two people under God. So I cancel everything out with the whole I'm a date for this many years and not feeling the urge of having to marry that person spot on. And I get that some people may think like, well, I'm young, I want to enjoy myself, but what are you enjoying? Are you enjoying the pleasure of just feeling your flesh, or are you trying to enjoy eternity and heaven with a partner that you know is your partner, but you don't feel like you think is ready? But it's never about what you think at the end of the day, because God won't put somebody in your life if that wasn't who He felt as for you to grow with. Now, sometimes you can get in a relationship, and those can be relationships that you learn from. And in most cases, that could be, but in most cases, it doesn't be. But just know that just know nobody is perfect at the end of the day, and know that the relationship that you are in, just really take it seriously at the end of the day, because it's going now. If your relationship is like, I'm not saying is you
Okay,
have.
wait, let me. I see what she's saying. Don't take any relationship seriously. Now, if your dude or your woman doing some demonic stuff, they acting crazy, don't take that seriously. What she's talking about, and I could just give a little context. She's talking about when you feel something different in the person that you with. Like you done been with 6, 7 other dudes, and all of them felt the same. Not this dude is not perfect, like she said, but you get with him and you can feel a difference. Like you can see a difference, you feel a difference. Stuff is different. Just to get y'all the context of the type of person, partner she talking about.
And as I was saying, with relationship, not saying it has to be all arguments and just going through things, but that's what makes a relationship real. If you can sit down and argue with somebody for a whole day, come back later on and say I love you, look, I was wrong, you was wrong, but if you telling them you was wrong, that's still a good thing. You have to have accountability partner. So no matter what you guys go through at the end of the day, as long as they have like those foundations on being truthful, being vulnerable, being spiritual, and just mainly focus on God and just really just feeling that connection between each other. There's no reason to not wait. I mean, not is there is no reason to wait to not get married, because at the end of the day, you just not saying you wasting each other time, but with that, you just like in a dating process for like say if you like you was dating for 17 years. Those 17 years, the devil was just reaping and just implanting, cheating and just different things like, well, they got married and we haven't got married. Does he love me? And It's putting all those thoughts into your mind, and it's just like, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your mentor. Don't do that to the other person, because at the end of the day, that person's life affects yours, and you affect that person more than you know it.
It's true. And another thing is, y'all, we're not saying this as a married couple to say that it's easy. We know it's hard to not think how that stuff messes with your head too bad. And I hate that as a wife that you let stuff so easily mess with your head, and you got a husband that the world beat on every day, and you just simply don't be as strong as him. But I'm gonna just tell you, this is your husband. If you keep doing that, God is watching you, man. You got to be strong. And I thank God that this happened on our first podcast for them to see, for you to see this yourself. This man said one thing about you, and you not even yourself no more. He said that your needs actually, and you not even yourself no more. And you see a man, and you got a husband that get beat down for what he do every day by everybody, and he still try to be himself every day. But once somebody says something to you, you just come into a shell of yourself, and that great because that gets straight into what I was going to say. Y'all, we're not saying this to say that it's easy to be married or easy to pick a person to marry or to even know if the person that you with is who you need to marry. We saying this strictly from a point with God, y'all. I'm telling y'all, you have to understand that marriage and being with a person has nothing to do with you or how you feel. Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with you or how you feel, because your main purpose in marriage was supposed to be one with this person. So, with that being the thing, is you have to let go of all of yourself. It's just as true as I can explain it. Like, meaning you can't. I couldn't imagine if I got into this marriage and I mainly made it about how I perceive the marriage to be. I had to truly conform and understand my wife. And this is true, a lot of dudes, a lot of men where I come from, they don't do that. They don't want to conform or understand because somebody told them that they need ashy, and they don't want to truly embrace that. They want to cover it up and say that it's not ashy instead of saying I am ashy, but you watching me. But this is how I'm trying to grow my family up to be. This is the things I'm trying to instill in them. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm saying. No matter what, in a marriage and when you're dealing with people, man, there like nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect. A person may be ashy, his shirt may be ripped. Your wife might not talk the same or talk as good as the girl used to date 3 years or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. But you have to understand that. This is what I'm saying. You have to understand that you are becoming one with another person. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's a lot of growing pains, y'all. It's one thing I can say. We not the guru of marriages. We just telling y'all our experience and what grew us to be able to love each other and grow with each other, y'all. It's just like, it's a lot of growing pains, man. One thing I seen is just like she said, vulnerability, being vulnerable and growing together. Man, it's hard. It's hard. It's too hard. But as long as you keep your focus and you got something that you're working towards and you got God in there, more than anything, y'all, I don't care what nobody say. You can't fake it when God is in there because other people see it. And y'all, one thing I can say is a lot of people really, 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 really don't like it. But you gotta understand that is God in there. But if you know you doing what's right by God, y'all, you gotta stay focused. Have to stay focused. You can't let stuff detour you. You can't let stuff change who you is. You can't let stuff because it's gonna happen. It's gonna come. It's gonna come a time when you gotta make a choice if you gonna forgive your wife or not. And if you not grounded solidly, fully in God, then I'm telling you, you're gonna go off your own ways. I'm just telling you the truth. Just telling you the truth of my experiences as being a married man. It's gonna be times where you're gonna have to put yourself in a vulnerable position for the betterment of your empire, for your dynasty, man. So just understanding y'all that people ain't perfect and demons are real. And all of this stuff can look as real as you want it to be, but until you see that demon is hiding behind whatever situation, whatever problem, whatever it is, will then you'll be able to see the the perspective that God intended us to look at marriage through. You know what I mean?
Alright, next question is, I feel like we talked about this, but I feel like we never talked about this. I feel like you talked about it, but I'm not sure if we really like, because we talked about it a lot of times. But what do you feel like pregnancy has taught you mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and verbally?
True. I feel like pregnancy taught me how to pregnancy truly taught me what it means to be a man. And I understand that being a man got so it's so weird, y'all, because being a man got so many different like people try to have so many different tiers, man. But it's a reason why we're stronger than women. Like the reason God made it like that. Because we're not supposed to we're stronger than women because we're supposed to be and it's gonna sound weird. We're supposed to be weak when it comes to women. That's why we're stronger. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be the ones that that's being the example of see, I want to say this. We're meant to be the ones that's the example of how to have control power. Meaning, man, God could literally release His hand off every single one of us, me included, my wife, my daughter, all of us talking, simply because of the sins that we commit every day, the ones we know we commit and we don't know we commit. But He has the power to do that, right? But He doesn't. He does it. He forgives us. He loves us. When he simply could just let us die from our sins. You see what I'm saying? That's why he created a man. I felt like in marriage, man, I had all like in marriage, I mean, in pregnancy, I had so much power, y'all. Like I had so much power. I could have did whatever I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? But having to go through a pregnancy to where you have to literally conform your own flesh to something that's greater than yourself, meaning it'd have been so easy, y'all, during pregnancy if I would have just did everything the flesh told me to do. Meaning, y'all, while my wife was pregnant, so many women was coming at me. It was during a time where I was physically getting myself in shape, right? I was getting in every single way a demon was coming at me, man, against my wife. Like I was starting to get way more aggressive with it. A few times put my hands on her, pushed her. It's like these are things that you have to understand. Like but one thing I will say is I needed to go through that. I would have never became this man if I didn't go through those things. If I didn't go through pregnancy and not cheat on my wife. If I didn't go through pregnancy and put my hands on my wife at the time that I did, I understand that I needed those things to actually help me see. I needed to put my hands on my wife and to see that I was actually stronger than her to actually say I can't do this. You know what I mean? I needed to actually ask my wife for forgiveness to break that demon of saying, man, show her that you're more strong. Show her that she can't talk to you like that. Show her that you but because y'all, one thing we have to start understanding, and this is the root to what it all even means is, man, behind all of this stuff is either a demon or you either get led by God. You know what I mean? Behind all of this stuff, it's just like once you start to really see that and understand that, man, I wouldn't have understood that if I my wife wouldn't have got pregnant this early. I wouldn't have truly understood how demons try to use me because it have been times and I told her this to where I done been in a like bad headspace and I'm literally fighting in my head evil and good. It's staying on this side saying, man, go slap the mess out of your wife. Who does she think she talking to? She crazy. And then it's something over here that's saying, you know it's right. Love your wife. She need help right now. She's just hurting right now. And it's like, y'all, I'm telling y'all, the truest thing I can say about what my wife's pregnancies taught me is that living for more than yourself. And it helped me get closer to God because man, I used to live for myself. I didn't even used to live for God. I didn't used to, and I thank God for an early pregnancy and having a child at 21 because I had a child at 22. She had it at 21, because it literally like man, it helped me it helped me with my relationship with God because it made me submit and surrender. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I can say that it grew me to. And I know I went on a long rant, but the biggest thing it grew me to is to submit and surrender. Like I had to actually come to quotes that sex ain't what life is about. Using somebody for sex ain't what life is about. Like it's more stuff than that. It's reasons why pregnancy has so many components to it, y'all. So many different stages. It's meant for two people to go through that together. And going through that with my wife, man, it grew me as a man. I wasn't even pregnant. I wasn't pregnant, but it grew me as a man, and it changed me a lot, y'all. It changed me a lot. So, man, that I can say, man, through pregnancy, it just helped me surrender and submit, and it really helped my walk with Christ, y'all. Really helped my walk with Christ.
I would say the first thing pregnancy taught me was that you, like the overall pregnancy and me experiencing it, and now being pregnant again, I would say that first pregnancy taught me was you really have to, like we said this one time, you really have to go through something yourself to understand it. Because I never was around anybody that was pregnant. I was the person that was like, I was the only child. My mom had just me. Well, I think that's you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But just being young and being pregnant is like back in the day. I would say that the mindset that people had when people were young and pregnant, it was like, well, you can't take care of it and you shouldn't have got pregnant. But this day and age, I would say that I was more so the person that was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this video, I'm gonna watch this video, I'm gonna watch this video. And it got to a point like I was just like trying to take everybody else's experiences and try to like create minds. Excuse me, create minds in like that way. But I thank God for just allowing me to go through the pregnancy I did. I was not sick at all, you guys. And you guys were like, she's like, you wasn't sick like most pregnant women get sick. Most pregnant women get like throw up and but I would say pregnancy taught me how to be a woman. I was young. And the year before that, we was just, you know, just hanging around town, going places. Now I'm hanging at home, but that's the best thing to do, hang at home. But I would say pregnancy and being really taught me how to be a mom. Because I never really grew up around kids, but once I start, once we got back together, once we got married, I start just being around the kids more and it just like opened me up to it. And I would say being a mom my second time, mind you, we don't know how many days yet, we haven't about it, but I'm still not as most pregnant woman would be, and I just thank God for that. And I would say going forward, you guys will be in the loop more this time. You guys was in the loop last time, but we gonna make sure we have we record any and everything. And just know that this time you have to get a birth video. We promising you that today.
Today.
Mind you, y'all probably like, what you guys pregnant last January? Yes. We're pregnant this January too.
Yeah.
But you really have to go through it yourself. And I know like, cause we was at Walmart last night and I know some girls have like, oh, I want to be pregnant, and then they be like, oh, I really don't want to be pregnant, like most young girls. But you gotta understand, like being a mom is a big responsibility. It's not something you can play around with. You're gonna have your days when you're up, you're gonna have your days when you're down, you have your days when you're all around. But at the end of the day, you got a kid on your family. Like you are like the like bones of your family. Like your husband's the head, but you kind of like blue of it in a sense. Like if
I say the husband is the head and the wife is the neck, the arm, body,
I'm
the
gonna
head,
say that,
everything, the heart, the lungs, everything. Cause I'm the head and I lead this family, but boy, boy, I can't tell you. I can't do nothing I do without my wife putting instilling in our family, keeping everything in order, keeping me in order how she do, even in ways that she don't even know she keep me in order.
All right. But pregnancy, I would say, I'm sorry, y'all. This pregnancy has made my throat itchy a lot. But going into the next question, what do you feel this pregnancy? What do you feel that this pregnancy will have that the last pregnancy did?
I feel like this pregnancy have a lot more direction than the last one. I feel like the last one we were just in the dark, looking around, bumping into stuff, and it was just happening. I feel like this pregnancy will have a clear direction of who we want to be in pregnancy, how we want to do pregnancy, where we want to, how we want to use pregnancy with God, do what we do on this earth. And I feel like last pregnancy we did not do that, and that's normal. I ain't saying like that's crazy because our first child and our first like time ever being pregnant with each other. So I feel like this one have more clarity to it, have more validity to it, and have like more meaning to it. Not meaning that last pregnancy didn't have meaning because it did. All that stuff I told y'all beforehand. I feel like this one will be the one we use. You know what I mean? We'll turn this one around to be able to use this pregnancy and achieve things from this pregnancy, and not just which we are going to grow from it too, but it be more so of a one we give it to God. We giving this pregnancy to God and letting Him flow through this pregnancy, using this for Him, not a lot of the last stuff I own pregnancy, me just count myself. I used it for my own self. You know, like for months and months and months, I was like, man, my wife ain't having sex with me. Why this? Why that? Why did I was doing this for months? This was stuck in my head for months to where I had the devil playing in my mind that like a child wasn't mine. That playing in my mind that she not having sex with you because she having guilt from cheating on you and getting pregnant with her. Like the devil was playing in my mind deep, y'all. And the only reason I got to this point and able to stay here to at this point is because I really truly said, bro, if I let these thoughts gather up in my head, I'm not gonna be able to be the same man or be the man I need to be for her. So I have to go to God. I have to get some type of extra power. Like I have to get something that's above myself, above these thoughts, to help me push what's right. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like this pregnancy will be a lot more for the people, bro. That's like us, man. That's young and got pregnant, that love each other, that's trying to strive for something, but got the world against them, got people against them, and it's just like they feel like they back against the wall. But man, we here to tell y'all, man, y'all back saying against the wall. Man, I'm telling y'all, we done been beaten every type of way, man, every single type of way. You know what I mean? So I just want to tell y'all, people out there that's young, getting married, that's like nervous. Like my wife said, some people get married and the first thing they say is how they gonna take care of the baby, what they gonna do, what they gonna this. Man, I'm telling y'all, don't let that be the reason why you don't have a child. Don't let that be the reason why you having these type of feelings about your child. The person that's growing inside of you, or the person that you see is growing inside of your wife or your girl, man. Don't let these be the things that the devil put in your head to me. At the end of the day, this is a human being, bro. At the end of the day, this is a person you can love, that you can see other fruits other than money and things like that. You know what I mean? It's more than just about that, y'all. So, and all I can say is this pregnancy, I feel like is truly gonna be the pregnancy that changes our lives. Like truly, I feel like this gonna be the pregnancy that help us see like a different version of ourselves. We're gonna become a different version of ourselves. We're gonna like striving for different things. Like grow us up another level. Cause last pregnancy grew us up, and I just feel like this one's gonna take us to another level.
I feel like, oh, sorry. I feel like this pregnancy, oh, for somebody that's in the chat, they said what is happening. We are having our first podcast episode. So going forward with the question that was asked, I feel like this pregnancy is gonna really show me how to actually be a mom. Like pregnancy, the first time showed me like, okay, like I'm just a mom for one. But now, like, like being a mom that you do.
Yeah.
Like we have two kids, and it's just like it's really just gonna show me how strong I am. Like I feel like I knew I was strong when it came down to giving birth. Like like for some reason, just like we was going through during birth, just felt like it was just impacting us in some more spiritual way that we didn't even expect to happen. It does. You do feel like this like extra like it does. You do feel like this like extra like pressure on you. Just like you put that pressure on yourself. This is like, okay, I want to make sure like everything's right, nothing's wrong, like that. You can't control that. Like my last pregnancy, I would say the only thing that I caused myself to endure was these like warts, not warts, but I would say like sores underneath my arms. And that's one thing, is because I just like to eat cheese. Cheese its, cheese puff, cheese nugget, well not cheese nugget, cheese sandwiches, cheese griddles,
meals.
cheese mac and cheese, and I said goldfish, but anything that had cheese in it, I just had to have. But I would say that now that we say it's giving up cheese now, guys, which is so funny. Like I did not even know. For the last couple of days, we've been eating Cheetos, which was like, what? Like, we didn't think nothing of. We okay, it was like Cheetos, but like hot Cheetos. So it was like they can't have cheese underneath the red sauce stuff. I thought it was just like a red Cheeto. But I was this brings. I mean, right now, I'm feeling great. Like I can't wait to know how many months I am. I can't wait to actually get like I'm already thinking like mind you, a woman being pregnant, your mind is already like so full like all the way over there, and you still right here, but you're almost like thinking like okay, like what's to come because I already was pregnant first. I mean I was already pregnant once, and my mind is like already like okay, like I'm thinking like let passion be in the delivery room with like when they give birth. I'm just thinking about different things because it's like it's a great experience. I'm not saying I do want to talk to them that have experienced pregnancy the way God intended to, because if you guys haven't read Genesis or you know deep dig deep into your Bible, I just started reading Genesis. I just started getting to the Bible, and God really intended women to endure pain because of Eve eating that apple from the tree. So yes, some women might go through trimester 1, 2, and 3, so sick, or not being sick the whole time, being sick from birth. Some women, or um, what's the thing I had yeah, I got sold up for. Mm-hmm. Like when they sold me up. Like
Who actually so yeah for what?
Like when her head came out. Like some women might have to get like you might get cut in the process of like your child.
Oh, you saying birth?
Mm-hmm. Some women might get like cut during the process of you guys. Well, you women, you know what I'm saying at the moment. But some women might get cut during the process of giving birth, or you might have to stay in the hospital before you give birth, or just anything. But we were supposed to endure that, so it's not like why me, why not me? It shouldn't have been me. Listen, if Eve never sinned, and that probably would have never happened because if she wouldn't have sinned, everybody would try to be walking around here perfect, and nobody's perfect. Nobody, God didn't intend nobody to be perfect. So I just want you guys, well, you women and you young ladies, to understand that. I'm not saying like just go get pregnant with anybody. Just understand the person that you get pregnant with. No matter if it's like you're not in a relationship with them, or you're in a relationship with them, or you're in a relationship struggling, just understand that baby can either make or break you, or it can make or break your relationship. And and yes, pregnancy is gonna make you and your partner like a tomato. You gonna grab that tomato and you gonna squeeze it. understand once you relax and the tomato gonna just sprout again. Like the other tomatoes on that tree, just because you a tomato drop and it just push instantly doesn't mean that tomato's bad. But just understand, pregnancy can really like it can make you if you it's how you use it. And I'm not because I'm listen, I'm trying to tell you, our first pregnancy, I didn't know nothing. So I'm like, okay, we need to go to classes, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do that. I need to know. I want to be prepared. But pregnancy you cannot be prepared. You cannot be prepared. Let me just give y'all a quick rundown. If you guys somewhere new, we were supposed to have our daughter September 26th. If you guys don't know what day that is, that was the day. I mean, I don't think most people know hurricane dates, but that was the day a hurricane hit our state. We live in Georgia. So, just thinking about it, mind you, weeks before that, we kept going to the doctor's office, and they was like, okay, you're dilated this much, you're 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, okay, and then we get close up to the day, and and it's like, okay, we still the same amount of centimeters, but you guys also understand, I'm in school at this time, so it's like, you can't like prepare for pregnancy. It's just like something that just happens. So it's like you can try to rearrange everything, but like this over here not gonna like fit for this over here, and that over there not gonna fit. Like sometimes I had to go to school. And I'm telling you, those walks are not easy. But back to what I was saying, she, thank God, she came 10 days early before before her due date, and it's like you can't really like if I would have tried to sit there, mind you, it was just like her time. She was just like, I'm ready to come, but you just can't prepare. I mean, you can have like stuff clean and stuff like that if you want to, or stuff put certain places. And that I'm not saying you can't do that. You can do that. I mean, it's not gonna hurt you. It's gonna be better when you get home. That stuff's not scattered everywhere because you have a newborn. But even if you do that, I'm telling you, if you guys have stuff scattered everywhere, and you in the newborn stage and you parents, I'm just gonna say this for us. We didn't really have stuff scattered everywhere. But when we did, it was kind of like we were just trapped in the scatteredness because it's like we were new parents, and you can learn from your parents, but like I said, you through something to know what it feels like. So we got to the newborn stage, and yes, it wasn't rough, it was just nice.
It was extremely rough.
Yes, it was.
That's why you saying lying to these people? It was extremely rough. Extremely. If I didn't have to go through that, I wouldn't. But we needed to. That was extremely rough. I don't want to sugarcoat, try to make it seem like and mess y'all brains. If you pregnant right now, and definitely if you married and y'all doing what's right, it's going to be extremely tough, hard. You gonna hit something, the devil gonna try to come in and break y'all. But I'm telling you, if you hold on through that, do whatever you gotta do to just hold on. Whatever you gotta do to hold on, man. What you gonna reap and what you gonna benefit from it later is more amazing, man. I remember we was going through, and I'm gonna cut off, but I remember we was going through our like born stages and stuff. It was just like it was classes, everything was so hard, stuff was so rough. But now that we got through that, and by the grace of God, man, our daughter brings so much joy to the world now. Like, man, we go to stores, people get real joy from seeing our daughter. Like, they want to see her, they want to hear her talk, they want to hear her voice, they want to hear her, see her smile. And it's just like, I know that's what we reap from going through that rough time doing her. Because we could, like, this is the thing, we could have not have made it. I could have left plenty of times they try to make me get up and leave her by herself with my daughter. Like plenty of times they were trying to make like get up and get up out of here. Like plenty of times, and I just thank God for holding me strong. So definitely gonna be rough as a new time parent, especially if you're young, old, or whatever. New time parent going through that, and as I said, it's true because I got experiences in my life. People just like they don't even make it past that first child they had together. Man, I got sisters that had child with dudes that man they got to that point of that first born stage, or the stages with a child, and they just quit on each other. Like truly, they quit on each other, and I see it a lot in my life, and I know it's a real thing. So I'm telling y'all, from on the other side of going through that too, the same thing coming out, man. What you read in God after that is, man, it's something you'll never expect.
One thing I do want to add was we had a lot of support our first pregnancy. We had support from the church, support from our family, support from like just people we just seen. Like it's just different. Like it was just really a God driven pregnancy. The next question I want to ask is with this year and all the things that you have to accomplish, how do you feel going forward? Like not the due dates for because things don't have due dates, but how do you feel like going forward with the things that you have spoke about that you want to complete for 2025? How do you feel like you want to, like,
I feel like the question not a good question. That's why you stumbling over your word. What are you trying to ask?
I'm trying to ask you, like, not like, let me see the thing first before.
But you know what your question is. Why you doing all of this? Just ask it. Stop trying to do the same thing you're trying to do with them and sugarcoat stuff. Just ask the question you had to ask before you start the recording.
Yeah. The things that you have set for you in place for 2025, how do you feel, or like what ways do you feel like that you have set in place to accomplish
In no way. No way is possible. I understand with success, something you can't plan anything because regardless of how we feel and what we think, our plans is not the plans that created our lives. So I can sit here and be like, I'm planning to upload 5 times a week and do this over here and be this. But that's a man that's driven by his own works. And I truly understand that my life, I can say that. And once I say that, it's gonna go a whole nother way because it's a force that's fighting against me. So the main thing I would say, the ways I have set to accomplish the thing, and this is the only true way I will accomplish the thing I have set for 2025. It's truly keeping my focus and my mind centered on God. It's the only way possible I'm gonna get there because my plans is not the plan that God have for me. And I don't know the plan that God have for me. That's why it's called faith, the trust. And I gotta understand and trust God through all things. And the only way I will be able to accomplish anything this year is if I keep my mind and my heart centered and focused on God. So He will lead me to whatever He need to lead me to through this. But once I get away from that, that is when the accomplishments start to feel different. They start to look different. They start to sound different. So that's just something that the only way I can accomplish anything in 2025 is if I stay focused on God. That's the only way. I've seen that from last year being just now giving my life to Christ last year and really understanding what God wants from me. I see this year the only way I'm going to accomplish anything is if I keep my heart and my mind and my eyes focused on God. That's the only way possible.
going forward with well, our 2025 and things that I have set for my plate? Well, God has set for me in my sorry, God has set for me in my life is I also have to trust Him. I also have to like lean on Him because I can't say I'm gonna do good in school knowing who I am, knowing any college student, knowing any young person it's hard sometimes. So I can really just say like yeah, last year, my last pregnancy, the beginning of it when I was in school, I wasn't looking nowhere near Christ or nowhere, just leaning on my own understanding. Like okay, going to class sometimes, going to school sometimes, and just not really keying in or being like this is an experience. Like this is God giving me an experience to be pregnant, endure being at school, and it's just mind you being there was not for me. It was for somebody else to look at my life and be like, like if she can do this, I can do anything I even put my mind to. And that's really like something I really didn't take heed to. I just took it like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to go to school this day. But really just knowing the things that could hold me back, just myself and just being just like fed by the enemy, and don't ever just allow yourself to be fed by the enemy, because sometimes you may think that that plate over there that has less food is better than this plate that has so much food that you know is good for you, but it's not at the end of the day. But just really just understand the experiences that you go through, and just look at them and be grateful for them, because I know the experiences I'm finna experience, experiences that we finna experience, the things and the goals that we have set for ourselves in 2025 is all in God's hand. And we wouldn't even have these goals if God never gave them to us. So I'm just saying well, I don't want to speak out anything, because once you speak it out, the devil won't come in and just take it like, okay, you're not doing this, you're not doing it, you're not doing this, you're not doing it, just because you spoke it out. But I just want to say, with the things that we have set for us that was given by God for us to accomplish by 2025, I can truly believe that we are going to accomplish every single thing that has been placed in our minds and our hearts, because this is our year. Last year, you guys seen it. We went through the rough, we went through the nitty gritty, and we just came out on top. Like you guys are sitting here listening to hear us saying that we're pregnant again in the same month.
And y'all seeing pregnancy right there. That was the one y'all was just seeing us recording video that dog literally
Yes.
looking at it
No,
right there.
this was literally like 3 months ago. 3, maybe 4 months, coming up on 4 months ago. I was like, just, yes, I can say that everything in 2025 that we have set in place from God, and my job, as y'all keep hearing me say, from God. I'm not saying set in place by me, set in place by Him, set in place by us, set in place by other people, but from God only. Last, well, not last question, or just some question.
I don't know. Yeah, I see. Wait.
I didn't know if it was like a time period or anything. Okay, all right. The question that I have next is, what do you feel like as being a dad now has taught you to, what has being a dad has taught you? I'm trying to like ask. Okay, let me just ask you. Let me just reword it. What do you feel like that you learned from being a dad now has taught you from your past experiences with other males?
Yeah, I think I get what you're trying to
Yeah.
ask me, but you too acting scary. You're trying to ask me what, for me being a dad, for me having knowing other dads, what they had to taught me. That was trying to ask me.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank God the moment you stop being a scary wife and just help grow your husband. But and y'all, this is how I talk to my wife every
All
day.
the time.
So it's not
Nothing
nothing.
new.
This how she grew. This how I have to talk to her. But the things that I learned truly, and I'm not no greater man than no other man on this earth. I'm not no thing. One thing I actually truly learned from being a dad and from past experience with other men is, man, this stuff is real. Man, nobody ever knows the real problems, the real burdens, the real stress of why men do what they do. Like nobody else, a man will understand that on this earth. Man, I'm telling you, until I became a dad, y'all, I don't understand. I used to hate my dad. I used to hate him with all my guts. Until I had a daughter, I went through everything: pregnancy, being married, having a daughter, having to actually sit down and say if you gonna do this or not. Boy, is when I understood every man on this earth. Boy, I gotta understand a lot of men is not strong, though. I understand that because their strength they see it in too many other ways than that God seen it as. God see a man's strength as in control power, man. Like being able to go against flesh, being able to go against the culture, all these type of things is the power that God is the power that God gives us. And man, I see like just from becoming a dad, I see how so many dads run away from their kids, man. Truly, I see how so many dads run away from their kids because men, we want to make our women or our wives lives as best as we can. And through doing that, sometimes it causes us to take a backseat in our development as men, which we don't like. A lot of men don't like having to help grow their wives. A lot of men don't like that. A lot of men like this fake pre-assumed notion that this woman gotta be already intent for her to be without them doing any type of work. And I see that's what make men run away from women. They be thinking that women not become baggage and have stuff that they gotta deal with, they gotta work with. A lot of men just be doing the thing that they feel is gonna make their lives better. But what really makes their life better is going through that stuff with that woman because it makes you the best version of yourself. I couldn't imagine if I ran away from my wife and my daughter when she was 3 months pregnant, who I would be right now in 2025. I would not be the same dude if I would have left when she was 3 months pregnant. But going through all them experiences and literally like seeing that in myself, like, and y'all don't understand, I used to be so mad at my dad for not being in my life. But man, I understand that he had a lot of demons he was fighting, man, that maybe he couldn't just get over. But I thank God for that because through that, man, it turned me into the best possible dad that I could be. It gave me the spirit to strive to be the best dad that I can possibly be. It drives me to do what's right. Me, man, I had a dad that showed me everything wrong. Meaning I could simply do that same stuff because he done already showed it to me. Now I got a choice to see if I want to walk that way and get what he had because that's the only way it's going to turn out. Or I have a choice to use that as a blueprint to say no matter how I'm feeling, no matter even if that feel better, even if that feel better, I know it's not right. That's what we are bringing to what's right, what's actually going to grow somebody up. Is you going to grow by leaving your family this hard thing happen, or you gonna grow from doing something that you never seen another man do. You never seen another man help a woman grow, help a woman's spirit, help talk to a woman in a way where she needs to listen. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like from seeing other dads, man, it's just my experience. I've been around a man like myself. And it's just true as day. I've been around successful men. I've been around poor men. I've been around men with wives. I've been in relationships. I've been around all different types of men, bro. But I've never been around a man that said, I'm gonna spend my life help guiding and teaching my family and instilling things in them that goes against this culture of the world. And in house, everything that I have to like be sad about that I'm the man doing this and every other man, because that's what the devil tried to make me do. He tried to make me be like, man, every other man cheat their girl and they girl, you can do the same thing. Every other man make their girl weak and make them abide by all their rules and make them respect them. You can do the same thing, but I had to learn it, man. I didn't want to do that because God literally said in His Word, a man shouldn't rule his house with an iron fist. It don't feel right when you walk. Used to do it, used to think that just don't feel right no more. It just don't, because God will really give you this spirit, man. And I just want to bring it back to that. God give you this spirit, man, that exceeds all humanity, bro. Like no regular human God can feel these things. I'm telling y'all, this is true. And just from being a dad, man, and seeing other dads and having a dad of my own that I was 17, I just say, man, I understand the stress and the real drainage of being a man, of being a dad. Man, my dad didn't have no dad helping him out. I couldn't imagine what it was like. That's why he did it to me. He didn't have no in his ear telling him what was right, what was wrong. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. I'm just the one in the generation to show you need that. You don't need no man what's right, what's wrong. Just look at what the devil's been doing to your generation. Look at the curses that the devil is trying to do to your family. Look at it and look at it in the women's eyes and stop thinking those curses is good. Stop believing lies. Stop acting like you what your dad did. Please. When you keep doing that, you're gonna end up just like your dad. Been adopted the same mind that my dad did when I was younger. My wife, hey, I was flip flopping between her and another girl. My same thing. It's no coincidence that I was doing that. Dad did the same thing with my mama and my little sister's mom. Flip flopping between them every year, having sex with one of them, okay, leaving that one. Next couple months, going back to this one, having sex with her, talking to her, leaving that one, going back. I was doing this for a span, just doing that, and feeling lost, feeling so lost, and I didn't even understand what I was doing to these women. You know what I mean? But until I got married and understood that, like, all this is a recurring cycle. Somebody got to live the cycle and say they're gonna break it. Somebody, because everybody's looking around acting like they're doing so, acting like they're better than somebody else, but in the reality, we all walking in the same circle, doing the same thing. So just being a dad, man, it really showed just how to humble myself, how to respect other men, no matter what they going through, no matter what they doing, man. Because one thing the devil really hates, man. He hates men, man. He really want to make men turn into women. He want men to think less of themselves. He want men give their power to their wives. He want that because he know through that he know no matter what case scenario it is, if a man give his power to his wife, it's never going to amount to any glory of God. It's not. It's not. And we can sit here and act perfect, and women can say, "No, if I do this, I'll leave my husband." We can say that, we can say it. But man, if you just look at the proof and the pudding, man, it's not beneficial, man. It's not beneficial to life of a man to man, I done seen men conform. I done seen men, y'all, literally can like lose themselves. Like I done seen men lose their lives, lose themselves in trying to like be grateful for a woman. I seen it, y'all, and I just understand that this life really, as being a man and a father, you cannot do it without the Holy Spirit, without God. You cannot be no husband, no father. You can't be it without God. You can't, because He's the ultimate father. He's the number one father. If you trying to be a dad over Him before then, trust me, you're gonna lose every single time. That's how I feel about that. Just having seeing dads and being a dad of my own now, man. I just want to be a man. I seen by taking components of men that I did see and using those as a blueprint to my life and my fatherhood. You know what I mean? Because I done seen men, I done seen men with daughters that had a lot of money trying to give their daughters all the money in the world. You know what their daughters doing that money? Go giving it to another dude, just having sex with them, talking to them crazy, treating them crazy, just left or right. And these young little girls don't understand why they having sex with a whole bunch of different dudes. But when you look at their dad, you can see the exact reason why. All he doing is giving them money, not telling them nothing. They not even setting an example or being a man that they daughter should look for. You see what I'm saying? Then this all things didn't happen in my life. You know what I mean? None of my families none of the men in my family are men that I look at and be like, I want my daughter to look at me and be like, get you a man like that. So I had to create that. You know what I'm saying? I had to my daughter to look at me and say, I want a man that walks, talks, acts like my dad. You know what I mean? So, and that's tough, y'all, because I had to go against everything I grew up in my past and all the trauma my dad put on me. But it's great because it's easy. But a lot of people don't want to make it easy because it's accountability thing. Nobody gonna work with it through you. You have to make a conscious effort saying, I want to be better. I want to be greater. I want to look. I want to be different. I want to speak different. You have to make a conscious every day of that. And this is extremely hard. Y'all, I know I'm trying to overcome this smoking with the Heavenly Father. I'm praying every single day. Y'all, every single day because I know that I cannot be like my dad and let it be when I'm 50, 60 years old and I'm smoking weed and I'm still looking back like, dang, man, I should have did this when I was, man, I should do this, man, I don't want to be that person, man. So I got to make a conscious effort every day to make my life something different. And it's hard, y'all, because we all are human, man. Another thing I want to let y'all know, man, we all are human. Take, like, relax. Nothing in this world even matter. And if you believe in it matter, then, man, you messing your brain. The only thing that matters is you trusting and believing in God. You got money, not God. You got a car, not you trusting and believing in God, man. It's people out every day with the things that you want and that you saying you need to live. It's people every day living without those things. Every day. Some people are every day living consciously without money. Living every day. People living consciously without houses every day. People living consciously without cars, clothes every day. So it's just choosing what you want to direct your life into, man. Because we are human, y'all. We are human, man. So I want to say to the dads out there, man, y'all gotta understand it. Y'all gotta, you have to prepare that next generation for what's right. No matter how, whatever way that is in your life, but just make sure you prepare your kids, your daughter, your girl, your wife, baby mama, or whoever it is, even if y'all not together, prepare them for the things that's true. You know what I mean? Prepare them for the things that's real, man. It's a lot of times I see people argue or people get out of relationships or dads lead a wives for stuff that's not even true. Like it's not even real. It be selfish motives or things of pride, stuff that's just a lie from the devil that don't even it's not even real. So, man, I just want to tell y'all that.
All right. It is getting guys because we know right behind us. So we got a good question out there for everybody. And the question is, and we're gonna answer this one. What would you tell somebody that is younger or our age? What would you tell them? No, let me rephrase it. If somebody was just starting out on YouTube, just trying to find their way, what would you tell them, or like, what advice would you give
On YouTube,
them?
man, truly. I say, man, and this is just the truth of what I can say from my experience on YouTube. Don't get caught in a tornado, man. And I'm only saying this from experience. Y'all. I was in the tornado meeting. Don't get caught doing YouTube for other people's purposes, man, because that can lead you into falling right into Satan's hands, man. I remember I used to want to do YouTube, and I used to want stuff that other people had. I used to want to like I got caught in the trail of like trying to get that moment, trying to get viral, trying to do this, trying to copy this, trying to be the this, and it's like I was forgetting to give the world me. See what I'm saying? Like a lot of people do YouTube and they just automatically start trying to do what's hot. And nobody ever gonna remember you for that. Nobody ever gonna remember you for doing a hot Cheeto prank that 15 million other people done did. It's just the truth, bro. They may remember you for a week or two, but man, I'm telling you, if you really want to have an impact on YouTube, you really want to have an impact on this world doing YouTube, man, you gotta bring the world yourself. You have to, and I'm telling y'all, doing that take harder. It's going to be more. This is the God honest truth. You can go on YouTube right now and do one of the 20 women, one dude, one singer video and get millions of views. But if you want to have an actual impact where people look at you and respect you and say you mean something, man, you got to give the world yourself. You got to be vulnerable. You got to go through. You have to go through things that you would never expect you would go through doing this YouTube stuff. You can't be this type of closed off, you can't. If you're gonna be that type of person, you might as well not do YouTube. Cause I'm telling you, there's gonna be times in your life doing YouTube where you ain't gonna be able to hide stuff. And if you not mentally prepared and ready to accept that, man, you're gonna lose yourself. You're gonna lose yourself, man. It's one thing I tell anybody doing YouTube, man. Keep your focus mainly predicated around God. Ask Him to lead you in your videos and your steps, man. Be confident in it. Y'all, a lot of people try to break me down doing YouTube for I say 4 years now. Y'all, and every single day of them. Listen, when I first started growing, when I was first getting 600, 700 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, everybody, man, you doing good, man. You this, man. Oh, you getting this view. Once it started slowing down, once I started actually really seeing what YouTube was about, is when everything changed. Once I actually started saying, man, let me give myself to the world. Let me let them know who I actually am. So I started to change. People started hating me, telling me I'm doing the wrong thing. But I'm telling you, when you walking with the devil, everybody gonna love you. Everybody gonna love you. You gonna be doing stuff that you don't want to do, but people gonna tell you it's good. You gonna be doing stuff that you know ain't right. And I'm only saying this for myself, man. I remember when I first came home from college, I did a video, and I went to FAMU college, and I was doing like public interviews, y'all, and I was interviewing like girls, dudes, and just like remembering back to how they was talking. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do it, but I was trying so hard to get a moment, to get some money, to get some type of publicity that like I was walking right into the doors of Satan, walking right into his doors, like doing stuff, forgetting my morality just for this fame or this money or this type of validation from people, man. When you can simply use YouTube to show yourself to the world, you don't gotta fake it. You don't gotta to be this other type of person for nobody. You can just be yourself, man. You can be yourself in the world, and that's the most blessed part about it, man. So I just want to tell you, anybody starting to feel like starting to, don't let nothing hold you back. And unless you truly can't get to YouTube and post a video, if that's the case, that's the only thing that should be holding you back. If in your country, in the place you stay, the city you stay, the state you stay, unless they got a ban on YouTube or X on it, and you cannot go on the app, you cannot possibly get to it. That'd be the only reason I would say not to do it. As long as you got the right motives, man, you leading yourself into the right places, and you're doing it for the right reasons, man. Do YouTube. It's a great thing to just confidence and instill, like help inspire other people. And the reason why I love it is because it's not about you. No matter how much money you make, no matter how much stuff you make, it's never about you. Because once them people leave, you ain't nothing no more. So it's all about what you're doing for the people that you serving, man. It's a servant type of job, you know what I mean? So it just depends on how you serving people and what you serving them.
I would say just because now I have my own channel, I'm gonna put it down below. But I would say find somebody. I'm not saying go find a big YouTube. Find somebody that you can truly connect with on YouTube and watch some of their videos. Watch what they do. Watch like how they started out. I got a prime example right here in front of me. So of course you guys know that I'm being instilled every single day how to go forward with it, whether what content, what drives, what motives. Just find that person that you can connect with on YouTube, understand them, drop in the comments, hey, I'm starting to do YouTube. What advice could you give? Like what should I do for this video? What should I do for that? But really just find somebody that you can connect with on a level that on some type of niche that you have. Like if you're gaming, come over here to Step Hub and Nail Hub.
Yeah.
Like if you like any cooking, come over here to Step Hub and Nail Hub. Or like any place or any person that, not saying like you gotta go find the biggest one or the smallest person, just find your person that you can connect with and be like, hey, I like this video. I like what they're saying. I like the camera they using. I like the time they edit. I'm like, you give me good advice. Like, okay, I gotta post it this time, at this time, and that time, and do this, do that. But really just find it and just really just create it for yourself. That is all the questions I have.
Y'all, and that's episode 1. And y'all, we just want to say, man, we down with the podcast. This is episode 1. We don't even know if this gonna be our sitting place yet. We kind of like it, but it's getting cold from that window. Y'all know we're here right now, so y'all, we just episode 1. Just an introduction and really letting y'all know how we think, what we're gonna be talking about, how we feel, y'all. So Y'all go on this journey with us, man. It's another journey, another outlet just to reach y'all and give y'all another aspect of us and help y'all when y'all need it, man. So we love y'all.
Are we doing the same thing? Or we gonna?
Yeah, man, we can switch it up.
Okay.
Or we can do the same thing. We can do the same thing.
I'm Anil.
Non-proper stuff.
And she
Is,
no,
and
and P
is
and P is P and
and
he or she is he or she,
and
and
we
we
are
are
we,
we,
the
the
dynasty.
dynasty.
Peace
Peace
in
in
the
the
streets. Hour and 23
I
minutes.
thought it was more than that. I thought it was at least two.
2
Because I thought we
hours.
had started at 6.
Almost 2 hours.
We lost like 30 minutes or good minutes.
Hmm.
We lost like 30 minutes.
Nah, it was a minute and we was like, yeah, 30 minutes, about 30 minutes.